I'd graduated, I was running my own design firm, having such a blast. I was designing restaurants in Ahmedabad and themes, etc. And then I became a mom. And I fell deeply in love with my son. So I put him in the school. I didn't probe further. I didn't necessarily ask the right questions. I remember asking her, I said, tell me about my son and tell me what he likes to do and who has friends. And she just looked at me and said, what is his roll number? That's it. He didn't even have a name.
Kiran, you got into school and education, I believe, as a mother, as you said somewhere. And why don't you share that story with us, actually?
Yeah, I mean, I had no plans of starting a school. That was the farthest from my mind. I had graduated, I was running my own design firm, having such a blast. I mean, designing restaurants in Ahmedabad and themes, etc. Really living a life out of my own time and my own wish, in a way, not determined by any other, sort of influences or factors. And then I became a mom, and I fell deeply in love with my son, and I think that the idea of being a mom brings about stuff in you don't even know you have. Right? That's the thing about being this motherhood. And so then when my son had to go to school, at that time, I really didn't think too much about the kind of school, because it was a school my husband had already gone to. So you kind of just say, he turned out fine, how bad can the school be? So I put him in the school. I didn't probe further. I didn't necessarily ask the right questions. But very soon, I think in 3 or 4 months, I realized that this was just not working. I don't think Rag even knew it was not working for him. That's the thing with young children. They don't know things are not working. They just think that's the way it is. Right. And then they start choreographing their way to fit into the system, to have as less trouble as possible. So, but it was doing things to me as a mother as well. He would come home with some completely redundant stuff, with this red mark on his notebook. And my first reaction would be, come on, Baba. And I was thinking to myself, my God, I'm going to lose my son if this is the way I'm going to react to every stuff that is not going right at the school. So there were a series of these episodes or incidents that happened. And then I remember the one that really took it across was when I'd gone to receive his report card. He was all like 5 anyway. There was a report card thing. And there was this teacher who was completely bored. And I remember asking her, I said, tell me about my son and tell me what he likes to do and who has friends. And she just looked at me and said, what is his roll number? That's it. He didn't even have a name. And this was like 6 months into or 3 to 5 months into the school. I was thinking, are you kidding me? And that day I remember I just took him out and I called up Geet and I said, I'm taking Rag out of the school. I'm going to start a school. At that point, I didn't even think that I should change the school or I should complain about the school. That was just didn't feature into my head. It was just my child. I have control. I'm going to change the system. And I kind of said, okay, I'm going to start a school. That's really how it happened.
Wow. But then tell us something about the journey, because you not come from education background.
Yeah, I think that was a big blessing. The fact that I didn't come from education, therefore there were no haves to, and this has to be done, and this is the way it's done. Coming from a design background, I think the questions of, why not? What if? I think those were the reasons of how the early years were. It still continues to kind of shape pretty much everything I do at the school, but At that time, it was really about the curiosity about how children learn, the design thinking process of keeping the user at the heart of the process of designing with the user rather than for the user. So a lot of my insights and our insights in the first years came really from the kids. Of course, we were not being naive about it. We were reading a lot and all of that thing. But I think the first years were, I think first 7 years, I remember just putting little blinkers and going really deep, because I was teaching full time and I was building the building and we were training, and so I don't know where the time went.
You know, adhering to conventions, accreditations.
You
How did parents send the other kids to your school? I mean,
frankly, I think in the first 3 years, parents who came to my school probably didn't get their children to any other school. It was really like, pass me hai, 1-2 years, and then we put them to a good school. It turned out that the kids graduated from Riverside, but I think what was fantastic is that the first set of parents actually were also mavericks, I think, in a way, because several of them came maybe because they didn't have any other options, so that was one easy fit. The others who were there knew me, so that was the other fit. So, and I think, but I'll tell you something, I think when parents see passionate human beings looking after their children, caring human beings looking after children, I think they might not know what you're doing, but they kind of get carried away by that passion. So I think that's what served us very well in the first, when we were building the processes, and it was such fun. It still is so much fun. I mean, after 18 years, I don't know where the time has gone.
And I also read somewhere that despite you didn't go with any conventions, and yet the kids always turn out to do the best in maths and science.
Yeah.
English, is that correct?
Yeah, I don't think, if you start off by thinking that they must be good in maths, science and English, then your entire program gets compromised by that. But when you start off by saying children should enjoy learning, they should be curious about it, and they should do craftsmanship in the work they do, they will turn out to, that the byproduct is that they will do well in maths, science and English.
Amazing,
but that's not the focus.
Yeah. The next thing you're really famous for is, this whole I Can movement.
Design for change.
So what was the inspiration behind it? Because I believe you got the kids to do something at the school, got them to do agarbattis.
No, that was not the inspiration for starting Design for Change. It was really an opportunity. A friend of mine, again, another maverick guy called Venkat Krishnan, was kind of putting a team together to conceptualize this idea called the Joy of Giving Week in India, which is now called Dan Utsav. And at that time, he was calling me up and saying, Kiran, there's this great this idea, and we've got adults looking at giving in a very different way. Everybody can give, and let there be a festival where Indians give. And at that time, I remember asking him, I said, what about children? That's really where you have to plant those seeds. And he said, well, you go do it. I said, okay, I'll do it.
Wow.
And really became that. And literally in 3 months, I put together a really great team, right from my DO and the D School at Stanford, at the Harvard Graduate School of Education, NID. I said, if we have to work for children, we have to get the best minds to be part of it. And then really learning from whatever I did at Riverside became the framework. What Design for Change now is globally known for, which is the FIDS, the Feel, Imagine, Do, Share design thinking framework, which we then launched in 2009 in 10 Indian languages, and we reached 30,000 schools that year in 2009.
Wow.
And I remember the first story came to us from Dimapur.
Wow.
We started crying, saying, oh my God, look at the kids, they're so amazing. Yeah, and that's pretty much how it started. I got to speak on TED that year in 2009. It went global because of the power of that format. And yeah, today we're in over 70 countries.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the biggest movement of its kind.
That's fantastic. So what's the inspiration behind this kind of spread, You call it contagious.
Yeah, contagious.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's an inspiration as much as a kind of a moral responsibility. I just keep thinking, my school is in Ahmedabad. It's on the banks of the Sabarmati River. it's that symbolism of Gandhiji. His ashram is diagonally opposite Riverside, and in many ways his message pretty much looms and shapes a lot of, at least my value propositions and stuff. So I think the idea to live with a little bit of moral responsibility, that if something somewhere is good, it must be shared. You know, it has to go beyond. So I think the idea that it became a way to take something that I knew was doing amazing things for the children at Riverside, but to all of this work only for 400 children would have been just not responsible enough as an idea. So I think that's really how it went, yeah.
But you know, it's not so easy to even also spread, right? 400 to 30,000 to 30 countries.
Yeah, now 2 million children.
2 million children.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you must have had hurdles along the way.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you kind of manage these things?
I don't know, I'm not a great one for romanticizing hurdles and stuff. I think that's just so self-congratulatory, and I don't take myself that seriously anyway. If you really ask me, and I think it sounds trite when I say it, but I just genuinely don't keep that as a reference point to say, oh, look at me and doing so much work. Absolutely nonsense. It's a choice I'm taking. I can choose not to do. When I can choose to do, it's as simple as that.
So you just go with the flow.
Yeah, just go. You have to show up. You have to do the work. You have to stay curious. And I think one big thing that shapes my mindset today at this time is gratefulness. My God, I've got so much gratitude that it'll be irresponsible of me to not, understand where I am and what it means. So.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So I'm just going to read out the list of awards you've been getting, because it's quite a big list.
Do you have the award of being the best mama in the world? I mean, that's the award.
Okay, yeah, I take your point. Lego Foundation, Top 10 Educators, 2015, Commonwealth Education Good Practice, Asia Game Changer, Most Innovative Educational Program, Light of Freedom, Vital Voices US, and Lexus Award, the latest. So I know you said earlier that awards don't really mean much, that your real award is your child, and you've really given it like a mother. What do these awards do? Don't they at least let you carry out the message?
Oh, yeah. I think I don't want to trivialize the fact that the awards have meant there's a recognition to the work we do. I think what it allows you, I keep saying at one point in time, it's not what you do, but what you know, but who you know, that starts making a difference. The awards mean that more doors open, more collaborations are possible. Places where there might have been resistance, there's a little chance that it might dissolve a little bit better. So I think it's hugely, in a way, gratifying in a way, but it allows you to do more. I think an award is nothing about what it was, but what it can do for you.
Yeah. Very well said. Thank you very much, Kiran.
Not at all. Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure having you on the show.
Yes.
Yeah. Kiran, it's all very well for you to say that, you've taken up the social causes in your stride and done whatever is needed to be done. But, there's so many people who get quite frustrated when they face failures, when they face hurdles. And definitely in the kind of stuff that you've actually been pursuing, okay? And as we discussed also, you have faced so many failures and hurdles. So, what is it? I mean, I understand that purpose keeps you going, but what is it that you actually do practically in life that actually, helps you overcome, let's say, hurdles, failures?
So, and I think
I've learned a lot about that from her.
Yeah, just basically, and I have a problem with this word failure. I don't necessarily think of it as a word that has been part of my life. I mean, there have been ups and downs. It's like the rhythm of the heartbeat. It'll go up and down. If it was steady, then tata bye my cheerio, right?
Yeah.
So for me,
That's
it's
beautiful.
always been choices we take. I don't think there was a time, at least when I started the school. I think as entrepreneurs, I don't think you necessarily face failures. I think you make choices. Some of them just don't work, but that's not a biggie. And you take responsibility, and then you turn it around and you get on. It's not like, oh my God, it's failed.
So you build some kind of a resistance there with that belief actually.
Sorry?
Because most people are conditioned to feel that they have failed. You know?
Because that's the whole education system.
Yeah.
You're never given a chance to iterate and then prototype and refine.
Right.
It's all, you get a report card and that's it.
Yeah.
It's heal for life.
That's why we think failure is such a big deal in our lives.
Yeah.
So of course, I'm going to have lots more bumps and ups and downs. No biggie.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the best way is, disregard failure.
Yeah, don't make that your.
Yeah.
It's neither success nor failure. I don't think.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me the other day, what's your moment or whatever. It's interesting. I don't know, maybe this is right for you. I can't remember a time when I have enjoyed or luxuriated in the success of anything.
Yeah.
I just realized, okay, it's done. Now let's get on and show up the next day and do the work.
Actually, deep in something, you realize that there is no something like one success.
Yeah.
It's like a continuum,
Just
right?
goes on.
And you have
That's
to
right.
be there. And it's part of it is grunt work, part of it is
A lot of it is grunt work.
Yeah. And it's like you just got to turn up. And some days you feel really bad. You do something mad.
That's great. Last time when we spoke, you touched upon the kind of support that you keep getting from family members. Would you consider yourself lucky that you got or inherited such a kind of a support system?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, very lucky.
Deeply grateful.
Yeah.
And the deeper, if
yeah.
I go deeper, then what role would you say, luck has to play when you're actually going and pursuing
I don't know what you call luck.
such causes?
But yeah, I think happy coincidences, serendipity,
Being at the right place
being
at the right
at the
time.
right place at the right time, opening the right door.
Or also, maybe there was, maybe in both our times, that gap was there, possibly. And maybe a school, the way I was running it, or composting as a area. Maybe we were at the right time.
Yes.
To do that.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think now there are so many schools,
Yes.
maybe, or there'll be other people who are now doing composting. I think at that time, maybe that moment was right. Everything collaborated.
So are you saying that, if you go and look for your niche, which is really your calling, then...
I didn't go looking for it.
Okay.
No, but I do think that I like to think that the adage of chance favors the prepared mind. I think that really counts. There is a certain a space, a vacuum that you create within yourself of a desire or a thought or a need or something like that, and then the universe kind of conspires to kind of fill
make
it
it
up.
happen.
Yeah.
I don't know about prepared.
Yeah. Prepared meaning I don't mean you have
Yeah,
got it
you
all
knew
sorted
the
out,
material, you
but
knew the stuff.
want.
Yeah, I think it favors the brave also. I think it favors the
Yeah, so
idea
that
of
is
saying,
preparedness.
yeah,
That-
possibly.
You have to be prepared.
We were prepared with the fact that we could do it.
Yeah.
I think those skills were over the time, our upbringing, NID,
Yeah.
happenstance,
Yeah.
people that came in your way.
Yeah.
And you kind of said, why not?
I think that's very
So you
very
didn't
useful.
say no.
Yeah.
So that's the important thing. You didn't say no. I will not do this, and everything conspired to bring that moment together. You could have. I mean, there are many instances in my life where I've said no to certain things, and that's the luck of the draw.
I think that's fantastic. So now, we have lots and lots of millennials, who follow us, and they all want to make an impact. They all want to be successful. They are looking for ways to increase their esteem. So if you wanted to give one message to them from all your experiences, what would that be?
I have one because I met all the millennials.
You
Not all,
must.
but quite a few. I have met enough. I keep thinking, And I coined this, by the way, phrase. I keep saying there's an idea diarrhea in the world.
Idea?
Diarrhea.
Diary?
Everybody has an idea to change the world. But stamina? So if I have to tell you something, if you have an idea, you have to have the stamina to take the pain. Not all the good times. I find that's the one missing piece. I find that it's all, in 8 months I'm on to the next one, in 2 years I'm now bored. I find that is the only advice I'll have, that you need stamina for this. This is a marathon race. Yeah. Purpose doesn't come. I keep saying that you have to be worthy of your purpose. It doesn't come to everybody.
Patrata.
And you have to have, like Geet says, you have to find the beauty in monotony.
I have no advice. One of the
Give
things.
one. They're waiting.
She already told me earlier.
Yeah, no, I have no advice. I don't know. I feel
but
more
now
and
that
more
your
lived with
favorite
life.
sister,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't think I think every age has its own angst and its own mess, and I think it's bigger than all of us, the age. And so I think you have to find your own way.
So I have written 2 short poems for both of you, related to your life, and I've written them in these books that I'm going to give to you.
Wow.
But first, I'll read out the poems. Yeah. Kiran's Kiran strikes the world, illuminates, inspires, and illustrates, designed for change, makes it contagious, and every child globally says, I can design my own life experience.
Oh, nice. Kiran is Kiran, illuminating.
Thank you. I'll just change
Thank you.
one word there and I will call it cantagious.
Cantagious.
All right.
Nice one.
Thank you. That was
Well
so
said.
lovely.
Okay, Poonam, here to you, here it goes. Poonam, true to your name, just as a full moon highlights and reveals the beauty of the dark, making us one with it, your work unearths the life and beauty waste gives us, giving it the pride and place in our oneness with the whole.
Wow.
Kiran, here's a book for you, Jasmine Builds on Shifting Sands.
Thank you so much.
Just like you build on shifting sands, there's a fiction about Jasmine who also builds.
Lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Poonam, this is
Yes,
for you.
my copy.
Yes, your copy with that poem in the book.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Composed Swali.
Oh boy! Great!
Portrait.
This is so cool. I love presents.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God. Show me mine, show me mine.
I can.
Gugu, I can.
Oh, this is so cute.
Here we are.